Hey guys, this is pretty cool. So as you know, one of the limitations of Podio is that when you create an app, the fields will always be on top of each other, and then there's a good amount of space between each field. So, for example, I have property address field on the topmost of my app, then there's a big amount of space before it goes to the next field, which is my navlinks field, another calculation field. Then a good amount of space again for the next field, property ID. Now, this could be a problem if you have lots of fields inside the app like I do have on this one, because it could take us time to scroll up and down on this app just to find the fields that we need to update. Alright? Now, good thing is there's a way for us to quickly navigate on each section of this app. So on this app, I have a properties app with a section of property details, section for MLS section, section for bidding, sales estimates, and geotag. Now on the topmost, I have the nav links here. So if I click on property details, it will automatically go to property details section. If I go back up and click on MLS section, we'll go directly back to the MLS section. So let's see how we could create this nav links. Let me modify the template. So I have opened the modified template on a separate tab. Now nav links is just a calculation field. So just drag a calculation field on your app, and then this is pretty much the code for each section. So for property details, this is the code, and then for MLS section, this is a code. So let's add another block of code for our, let's see, for our geotag section. So first thing that I would want to do is create a variable for JavaScript. So that's var sec3. Now if this is your first time doing this, you would want to start with sec1, right? And then the value of this is we would want to illuminate an HTML anchor tag, which will be the clickable link going to our section. So by doing that is you just want a less than sign and then an A and then a space, then href. Href is a location or a link that once you click this link, the page will go to. So for us to do that, we will want to go back to the item. Now I have two items in here. The first one is this, and then the second one is the 20002 East Avenue. Now as you can see, if I go back to my first item, the number 2 at the end of the URL becomes the number 1, right? And if I go back, this number 1 becomes number 2. That's the only thing that changes on the URL. Now that's because this is the unique ID of the item itself. We didn't show the unique ID in here, but it always reflects on the URL. So we don't want to capture that because you would want to automatically generate that per item. So what you would do is just capture from HTTPS up to the last slash without the unique ID. So I'll copy that, then go back to my modify property template, and then I would want to start with a backslash quote and then paste my URL, and then let's end the single quote, then plus sign. I would want to concatenate the unique ID, so just add @unique and then just click on this one, then a plus sign, and then a single quote again to open up our string HTML anchor reference. Now the second part is that you would want to get the ID of of the section that you're going to. So my section will be geotag. I want to get the idea of that. For us to get the idea of that, we would just want to go to our app, and then I'll click on the spanner icon, and then click on developer. On the developers, if you scroll down, you would see the external ID of the fields. That's what you would want to capture. Now, my geotag section is underneath like justification. So I'll find like justification, which is this one, and this is my geotag section. If the external ID of my geotag section is field 4, I'll just copy that, go back to my modify template tab. Before I paste it, I would want a pound sign on this. Pound sign, and then paste the ID of the section, and then close your single quote, and then concatenate another string, single quote again, forward slash another quote, just to close the quote of the href, and then close the anchor tag by doing a greater than sign, and then I'll say this is the geotag, and then close the anchor tag itself, which is less than slash a, and then greater than sign, and then close a single quote, and then semicolon. Alright, perfect. So we already have our third section created. Now we would want to reflect that to our nav links, and we want it to be separated with a pipe. So I also have variable nav declared for this, just to concatenate all of the sections that I've created. So as you can see, sec1, which is my property details section, concatenated with a space pipe space, and then the section 2, which is the MLS section. Now what I would do is I will add a plus sign, and then quote space pipe space quote, and then space plus sign again to add up my section 3 variable. And you want to eliminate the nav variable at the end so that the value will reflect. And then just click on done, save. Let's see what happens now. Should be having a third section for geotag. So if I open this up, there you go, geotag section. If I click on this, there, it goes to the geotag. Right? Pretty cool, right? So now I only have this nav links at the topmost part, so if I click on geotag again and I need to go back up, I would need to scroll up again. So that's not fun at all. Why don't we duplicate this nav link to each of the section? So I'll create another nav link field underneath the geotag. So I'll modify this template again. I'll drag a calculation field just underneath my section divider. Nav link as a title, and then I'll probably just copy the code for this, and then paste it in here, right? So I don't need my geotag section because I'm already in geotag, so I'll remove this, and then I'll also remove this. But I would want to still have my property details and MLS section. I also want to add a section for the topmost field of my app, which is the property address field, so that if I click on that, it will just automatically go on top. So let me declare another variable var top equals single quote less than sign a href equals / quotation, and then I'll capture this again, paste it in here, and then single quote plus sign at unique ID plus single quote. Now I will need to get the external ID of the first field that I have, just the property address, and this is the external ID. I'll copy this, need a pound sign, paste that external ID, close the quotation, plus sign, quotation, and then / double quote, and then a greater than sign, and then I'll just say this is top, and then close the anchor tag by less than sign / a greater than sign single quote, and then I would need a semicolon at the end because this is JavaScript. Now, as you can see, there's an error, script syntax error, because you need to refresh the other tokens since we copy and pasted it from the previous code. So what I'll do is I'll click on the @ sign after the @ sign, and then I'll just highlight by pressing shift right arrow key on my keyboard, and then I'll just enter unique ID. They're refreshed, and then on my nav variable I'll just add top, and then space plus space double quote space pipe space double quote space plus, and then another space. So I should have top and then a pipe and then property details and another pipe and then the MLS section. So let's click on done and see what we got now. So if I scroll on topmost part and click on geotag, should have the nav links there. There you go. And then the top is here. Let me click on this one. There you go. We are on the topmost part. If I click on geotag again, click on property details. There you go. I'll go to property details, and you can have another nav link in here that goes to other sections of your app. Right? Pretty cool. Let me know if you guys have questions. Thank you.